Now, there's this theory that wrestling fans don't get to have an opinion on wrestling because we've never been in the ring. That's ridiculous. That's not true. I would say that if a wrestler tells you something, wrestlers are going to have a built-in bias. I have a built-in bias, right? Because I like Brie Bella, because I work at WWE. I know I've interviewed the Bellas many times. I have a cordial relationship with them. I have a built-in bias because I want to see them do well. But we all have built-in biases. You, if you don't like Brie Bella, may have a built-in bias because you don't like the Bella Twins because you didn't like the Divas division at all. A lot of people have a built-in bias against the Bellas. So the biases are there. And it's okay. We just have to acknowledge when our bias exists. I am slightly biased in the favor of Brie Bella. I used to walk around with a Brie Mode t-shirt to every event that I went to. There is a bias built in with me. But to the people that are vehemently and venomously anti-Brie Bella, there is a bias on the other side against her that you walked in with. When you found out the Bella Twins were coming back, not you, but you. Some of you out there, not true for. Others of you out there, I know there were a lot of people that when the Bella Twins came back, people were like, I don't want to see them back. I don't like the Bella Twins. I like the new women wrestlers. I like the new female WWE superstars. The women's evolution is what I like, not the older women. Which isn't fair because the Bella Twins, Nikki especially, completely changed their styles in order to fit into this new style of women's wrestling. Completely went back to school, trained heavy, became more athletic, became more fierce, became legitimate superstars, in my opinion. And they belong where they're at. There is a difference between Owen Hart and Undertaker and people that and D'Lo Brown and all these people and Brie Bella. And the difference is that Brie has had multiple incidents since she came back. Brie, her first night back on Raw, those 2 dives outside the ring, it looked like she was going to break her neck. It made you feel like she shouldn't be doing those moves. In the mixed tag, it looked like she was going to really badly hurt Zelina Vega. And it looked at times like Zelina Vega, who is a great wrestler, was lucky that she was so good because she was able to get both of them through that. And then you've got this night on Raw. Over the course of a very short period of time, Brie Bella has racked up several mistakes. And I believe that a lot of this has to do with ring rust. A lot of this has to do with maybe some insecurity that she has because she keeps making mistakes. And with every mistake that she has, more insecurity mounts and you end up making more mistakes when you're not confident. I think that that's part of it. And part of it is, I don't think she should be doing Daniel Bryan's moveset. By the way, Daniel Bryan has kicked people in the head before. Daniel Bryan has had multiple concussions during matches. Daniel Bryan was bleeding from the head because Sheamus headbutted him so hard, right? These things happen. You can't sit here and vilify Brie Bella because she gave Liv Morgan a concussion. It's not the first concussion. It won't be the last one. The Rock is looked at as the greatest one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time. Some people say he's the greatest. He hit poor Mick Foley in the head with a chair full force like 12 times in one match. Unnecessarily. That's reckless. Go back and watch Royal Rumble 99. You want to see reckless? Watch The Rock, one of the greatest of all time, cave mankind's skull in legitimately. To the point where at one point Mick Foley is feeding The Rock his back, and The Rock walks around Mick Foley so he can hit him on the top of the head. That's reckless. What Brie Bella was doing, she made a mistake. There's a difference between being reckless and making a mistake. There's a difference between being somebody who's careless and being somebody who made a mistake. Okay? I think Brie deserves more forgiveness than she's getting. But I think that we also need to acknowledge that she's made a bunch of mistakes and her skill set maybe isn't the skill set that should be doing Daniel Bryan's moves. That doesn't mean she should be out of a ring altogether. It just means maybe the kicks, the dives, all this stuff, Not for her. Daniel Bryan is an amazingly skilled athlete, right? He's trained to work in the style that he works in for many, many years, for decades now. And he trains every day. Maybe that's not what Brie should be doing. Maybe Brie should be doing something else. And that's what I think, that we need to take another look at what Brie is doing in the ring and change it up a little bit. But I also think that we need to acknowledge the fact that there's a huge fan backlash against Brie Bella right now. And I think that the WWE should take advantage of that backlash. I think that this is the time that the WWE sets up the stable that I've been talking about. I think that Alexa Bliss befriends Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. And they talk about how the fans have been so mean, and they talk about what the fans are saying, and they talk about Twitter and everything. And then I think Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, and the reason Alexa Bliss is part of this group is because I want her to stay a bad guy. I think Alexa Bliss, Alicia Fox, Mickie James, the Bella Twins, and then maybe on the side, a little Maurice, a little Maria Kanellis should reform the Divas division. And I think that these 5 women with 2 on the side, so maybe 7, should come forward and challenge the women's evolution and sit there and say, Charlotte, everybody's saying you're the greatest woman of all time. You're not. The Divas were better. And I think there should be a heel faction of divas and call themselves divas and be heels and advocate for that butterfly title coming back and talk about the fact that the women's evolution has made it seem like the divas era was really bad for women, when in fact it wasn't. They were role models, they were athletes, they were blah, blah, blah. And that is your motivation as a heel. That's what I think you should do. Again, you talk about WWE leaning into the YouTube culture. Lean into the backlash. I know that the Bellas are real-life baby faces. I know that they've got this business empire and everything. Turn them into heels. Turn them into heels and have them become advocates for the Divas division. Why not? Everybody sees it anyway. That's what I would do. Make it so that it's like people don't look at them the same way they look at, like, there's the generation that started with the 4 horsewomen of NXT: Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley. From there forward, that's the real women's evolution to me. Everybody that came before that is kind of at least Divas kind of trail off, if not full-on Divas division. So, get the people who didn't go through the NXT system, get them together with Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa Bliss is important because Alexa Bliss adds credibility, Alexa Bliss adds wins, and Alexa Bliss gets to stay a heel. And bring back the Divas. Hashtag bring back the Divas. And you know why you hashtag bring back the Divas? Because they'd be awesome bad guys for all of us to boo.